is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Time now is 4:27 here on your Friday morning. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Meredith Barrick. We want to begin with the latest coronavirus numbers here in the Hoosier State. 17 people are now dead from COVID-19, with 465 people testing positive. The majority of those cases are right here in Marion County, 293 cases. We do expect an update later today from the Department of Health with new numbers. We are seeing about 14% of people who are testing positive. Carmel also is closing parts of the Monon and golf courses to further social distancing in Hamilton County. We do want to take a turn now and bring in meteorologist Todd Clausen. Pretty much the only thing that we all have to look forward to, Todd, right now is getting outside and enjoying the weather. Yesterday was a warm day, but that is all about to change. We have some storms headed our way.
Yeah, you know, it's still mild, and you'll have opportunities to get out and about the next couple days. You're just going to kind of have to keep an eye on Storm Team 6 radar and pick your opportunities to get out and about, as we will be dealing with scattered showers and overall fairly wet pattern for today and tomorrow. 57 in Bloomington right now. 54 is the current temperature in Indianapolis. Lafayette is at 53. I don't think we really get into a lot of heavy rainfall throughout the day today, and it's definitely not a washout, but it's probably one of those days if you are going to be out and about, you want to have the umbrella handy. The showers can move in pretty quick, then they move out. You get some dry hours, then more showers move in, but the temperatures are not an issue today, as we'll be topping off at 64 degrees.
Todd, thank you. And speaking of getting outside, it is going to be a while before we are sitting at the Motor Speedway watching those Indy cars go around the track. The Indy 500 postponed until August 23rd. A number of the other races also pushed back, so they are canceling that just due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Officials there saying they don't want to risk it, pushing it back from Memorial Day weekend to August 23rd. Now we will hear from some of the racers that were supposed to be participating in that, what they think about the move of the race. And finally, we have been trying to bring you good news throughout this whole ordeal, and that includes things like Purdue University's own Drew Brees donating $5 million to the state of Louisiana to help with the coronavirus outbreak. We'll have more on the move from he and his wife. We'll also have some video from inside a senior facility. Those seniors there participating in some line dancing. Just some good stuff, surely to make you smile here on this Friday morning. We've got all that plus news, weather, and traffic here on Good Morning Indiana.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Would we like to race in May? Absolutely. Are we excited we still get to have the 500? 100%.
Now at 4:30 on Good Morning Indiana, the Indy 500 is the latest sporting event impacted due to the coronavirus. We're talking to track officials and drivers about the difficult but necessary decision. Plus, it is a milestone no one wanted to reach. The U.S. now leads the world in the number of coronavirus cases, why President Trump is moving to relax social distancing guidelines despite the spike in numbers.
It's a challenge, you know, with limited service. So, you know, we're trying to do everything we can. If somebody was a cook for us and they were a painter before, we're using them to paint.
And a local business owner is trying to keep his more than 300 employees on the payroll while giving back. This morning, we're shining a light on Wolfies and how they're working together to help those in need. 4:30 here on your Friday morning. Thanks so much for joining us. We want to get right to meteorologist Todd Clausen. We have a lot happening weather-wise this weekend, Todd.
Yeah, you know, there's going to be the chance of rain, not whatever everybody wants, because everybody wants the opportunity at least to get out and about. But especially today, I think you'll be able to pick your times where you can get out, and we're just going to have mostly cloudy skies. We won't have the sunshine, but these temperatures not bad this morning already. 57 in Bloomington, 53 in Lafayette, it's 53 in Muncie. One of the cooler spots as usual over in Richmond at 49 degrees. So right now we're mainly dry, but you do notice some rain just off to our west. This is going to make its way into the Terre Haute area throughout the course of Good Morning morning, Indiana, and there's a few thunderstorms near Effingham, Illinois. A lot of those thunderstorms, I think, are going to stay mainly to the south, but this rain will overspread parts of the area during the course of the morning. But you notice how wide it is. It's just a pretty thin band of rain, but there's a lot of rain there. So where across the central Indiana, some of you are going to have a fairly wet morning, where others of you, especially to the north, are going to remain completely dry throughout the course of the day. But eventually that rain will start to lift to the north in spots. But you notice, again, throughout the afternoon hours here, temperatures in the 50s and 60s, but just mostly cloudy skies. Today's not a washout. Tomorrow, better chances of rain. More on that coming up in just a few minutes.
Todd, thank you. We're taking a live look right now. I-70 at Rural Street. You can see a few cars and trucks out there on your Friday morning. No issues on the roadways. The coronavirus continues to impact more lives across Indiana. 3 more Hoosiers have died from COVID-19. That brings the total number of deaths in the state to 17. The Indiana State Department of Health says at least 645 people have tested positive for COVID-19. 293 of those have been confirmed in Marion County. The health department says more than 4,600 people in Indiana have been tested. And the U.S. tops the list for having the most confirmed cases of COVID-19 globally. As of Thursday evening, there were more than 82,000 confirmed cases in the country, with roughly 1,200 related deaths. Despite the spike in numbers, President Trump is pushing to reopen the country for business soon. ABC's Inez de la Catera has more from Washington.
This morning, 5,000 U.S. sailors are on lockdown as coronavirus spreads through one of America's largest warships.
We are in the process now of testing 100% of the crew of that ship.
At least 24 crewmen aboard the USS Roosevelt testing positive.
The danger here is that the whole crew becomes infected and the ship is not able to carry out its duties. So a large part of the U.S. military might in the Pacific could be tied up pierside for weeks.
This as the Navy sends 2 hospital ships to New York and L.A., FEMA promising more life-saving and much-needed supplies. Dr. Colleen Smith from a hospital in New York taking ABC News and the New York Times inside the heart-wrenching situation there.
Today is kind of getting worse and worse. We had to get a refrigerated truck to store the bodies.
But President Trump telling Fox News,
a lot of equipment's being asked for that I don't think they'll need.
Trump also sending governors a letter suggesting he may soon take steps to begin reopening the country, saying the administration is working on new guidelines categorizing counties as high risk, medium risk, or low risk.
And our people want to go back to work. I'm hearing it loud and clear from everybody. I think it's going to happen pretty quickly.
This morning, the U.S. House of Representatives is expected to vote on the $2.2 trillion coronavirus aid package. The deal will get checks to Americans, help small businesses, and provide some much-needed help to the healthcare system. The Senate unanimously passed the bill Wednesday night. The floor debate starts at 9 this morning. If it passes, President Trump has said he will sign it into law. Under the new stimulus deal, people with student debt will get some relief. Payments on federal student loans will be put on hold for the next 6 months. Your loan provider will automatically suspend them, so you don't need to do anything. Any interest that accrues will be waived. If you're part of the government's public service loan forgiveness program, you won't be penalized for not making payments over the next 6 months. Private loans aren't included in this. If you have a private loan, you should contact your servicer to see how they can help.
The governor has given us broad flexibility to ensure that as many Hoosiers who are out of work due to COVID-19 are covered.
State leaders giving an update on a new executive order signed by Governor Eric Holcomb to help Hoosiers impacted by the coronavirus. The governor wants to make sure Hoosiers get the money they need as quickly as possible. His new executive order does a number of things. It suspends the 1-week waiting rule required before someone gets unemployment. The suspension means people will get money quickly. The order will help Hoosiers who filed a claim beginning on March 8th. Another big change, that is, people with chronic health issues will be able to get a 90-day supply of non-controlled prescription medicines for things like insulin or cholesterol. And Medicaid recipients will be allowed to use their benefits to cover costs of ride-sharing services to get to their medical appointments. The governor is set to give an update on the state's current efforts this afternoon at 2:30 p.m. You can watch live on the RTV6 app.
Our goal is, as long as we can stay open, we will. We think that gives the community hope, and that's kind of what we're looking for.
A local restaurant owner is trying to keep his staff employed while also finding ways to give back. Scott Wolf owns 7 restaurants, including the Wolfies chain. He's now trying to keep his more than 300 employees on the payroll. In Geist, employees are delivering carry-out orders and sometimes taking on other tasks.
We're trying to do everything we can. If somebody was a cook for us and they were a painter before, we're using them to paint.
I've been in the business for 30 years, never worked for anybody as thoughtful and caring as these owners.
Wolf says as of now, only 10 employees have filed for unemployment. For those families, Wolfies is offering meals to take home to their families. The company is also giving employees a deep discount on food to feed their families. On April 5th from 11 to 5, they'll also be holding a blood drive at the Wolfies locations in Fishers, Geist, and Noblesville. Our TV6's Hiring Hoosiers initiative is working for you, keeping you up to date on job opportunities with people finding themselves without a job, furloughed, or applying for unemployment right now. This morning, we want to steer you to an open opportunity geared towards those who recently have been laid off. Allied Universal is a security company with clients across central Indiana. Right now, they're looking for security guards to patrol malls, office buildings, warehouses, and more. The company says it offers flexible schedules, a weekly paycheck, and career advancement opportunities. And the demand for cleaning and hygiene products in the coronavirus era means a producer of wipes is hiring at 2 facilities in Indiana. NicePack makes wet wipes. The company plans to hire more than 100 workers at its manufacturing and distribution facilities in Plainfield and Mooresville. The jobs are both temporary and full-time and include machine operators, forklift drivers, maintenance, and clerical workers. For information on how to apply for both Allied Universal Security and NicePack jobs, and to see all the companies hiring right now, you can head to hiringhoosiers.com. Carmel leaders are blaming overcrowding for their decision to close a popular section of that city's trail system. Mayor Jim Brainerd has ordered the closure of the Monon Greenway between Gradle Drive to the south and Main Street to the north. The city says too many people are using the trail and not complying with social distancing restrictions in place during the COVID-19 outbreak. The mayor says if you continue to use the trail system, make sure to continue to distance yourself from others so we can keep slowing the spread of the coronavirus. The city says it could close even more portions of the trail system if people continue to gather in groups. The 104th running of the Indy 500 has been postponed due to the coronavirus. It was scheduled to run May 24th. The GMR Grand Prix that was set for May 9th also postponed. The 500 now scheduled to run on August 23rd. The GMR Grand Prix will now run Saturday, July 4th, Brickyard 400 weekend. We spoke to 2008 Indy 500 winner Scott Dixon and IMS President Doug Bowles. Both said while the changes aren't ideal, the track is setting race fans up for quite an exciting summer.
It's definitely a change that we've never seen before, but excited. I think that and the timeline and what they've done with the calendar is pretty cool.
We'd love to have it in May, but we feel pretty good about the date we've landed on in August. It's going to allow us to do two big weekends, a lot of the practice that folks are used to. I'm really excited about moving the GMR Grand Prix to July 4th weekend as part of Brickyard. So I think there's a lot of cool things about it.
Tickets already sold for May will be valid for the new dates. All concerts scheduled for the original 500 weekend are canceled. And Todd, it's going to be a hot one out there. What's it going to be like today, though, in central Indiana?
Yeah, today as we go throughout the afternoon hours, and even this morning, we'll be dealing with showers and some downpours. And you can see the first batch of rain just off to our west in Illinois. That's heading our way. We'll talk more about where that's heading across our area this morning and look ahead to the rest of your weekend as well. It's in your Storm Team 6 forecast. The time now is 4:40. Stay with us, right back.
Hiring Hoosiers only on RTV6.
We want to welcome you back here to Good Morning Indiana on this Friday morning. It is 4:43 right now, and look who is joining us, our Rafael Sanchez down in Johnson County. Hey, Rafael.
Good morning to you, Meredith. You know, sometimes technology sometimes takes it a while to warm up, and since we are in my makeshift studio here in my living room as we social distance, instead of running over or trying to swerve around a pothole, the technology today just didn't, start up as early as it wanted to.
Starting its weekend a little early.
That's right. That's right. So good morning to you as we continue our coverage of COVID-19. The United States has now surpassed China and leads the world in the number of coronavirus cases. And this is not just a problem in the big cities like New York and Los Angeles. We're now hearing warnings as far as Georgia and Michigan as they begin to see the numbers increase. ABC's Meghan Markle has much more on this developing story.
This morning, New York City hospitals overflowing with coronavirus patients, both inside.
All the patients in this room, all the feet that you see, they all have COVID.
And outside. The line here 5 hours long to get into this hospital in Queens, being called the epicenter of the epicenter. People waiting in line with fevers and other symptoms, forced to practice social distancing. The governor taking new action.
We have approved the technology that allows one ventilator to serve 2 patients.
Hospitals will now begin splitting ventilators as well as converting anesthesia machines. Still, the governor says the state is far short of the 30,000 machines they'll need. And breaking overnight, the New York Times reports the White House has now postponed a deal to produce nearly 80,000 ventilators with General Motors. FEMA reportedly saying it needs more time to assess the cost. The virus already taking a toll on first responders in New York. The NYPD losing its first employee to the virus. At least 236 officers in the department have now tested positive for the virus. The U.S. Navy promising relief for the city. The hospital ship Comfort is now heading to New York Harbor. Another Navy hospital ship arrives in Los Angeles today as that city announces more than 400 new cases.
If this rate of increase continues, in 6 days we will be where New York is today.
Health officials have warned the virus may come in seasonal cycles, but last night, Dr. Anthony Fauci said rushing to release a vaccine could do more harm than good.
So the worst possible thing you could do is vaccinate somebody to prevent infection and actually make them worse.
Meghan Markle, ABC News, New York.
In our new normal, we are all these days looking for some positive news. And this morning, we are getting some good news out of Italy after an 86-year-old woman is recovering after spending several weeks in a hospital with COVID-19. The woman, only identified as Gianna, she broke down in tears as she was wheeled out of the hospital. Gianna got COVID-19 during a hospital stay. Over the course of 7 weeks, she spent time in 2 different hospitals. In a Facebook post, the mayor of her city wrote, among the many stories of pain and suffering, Gianna's recovery gives us a great deal of hope, and hope it does give us all.
We are being told about the need to practice social distancing with other humans, but here's a reminder to practice it with animals as well. Montana reporter Dion Broxton shared this clip of himself Wednesday when a herd of bison were coming just a little too close for comfort. Check it out.
Montana 3. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh no, I ain't messing with you. Oh no. Oh no.
Broxton later tweeted video of the approaching herd once he was safely socially distanced from them. Todd, anyone who works in our industry knows you come across some pretty interesting things sometimes when you're out on a live report. Obviously here in central Indiana, I've never personally come across a herd of bison, but I think I maybe would have the same reaction as Dion did.
Absolutely, you know, especially if you're not used to being around those kind of animals. You don't know what they're going to do. But,
no.
I mean, how many times you've been hiking in the woods and all of a sudden you like see a deer and you're like, all right, you coming at me, you're not coming at me, or, you know, any other animals. So, all right, outside. Throughout the day today, there's going to be rain chances off and on throughout the entire day. And they basically range from about 40 to 80%. And what you see here, the percentage number, don't think of that as you normally would from 1 to 100, and that's the chance I'm going to get rain in my backyard. 40 to 80%, that's the coverage across all of central Indiana. So that's about half of us are going to have rain today and half of us are not. And that's just going to be a very unsettled weather pattern the next couple days as several fronts work their way through the area. 54 degrees right now. That is the current temperature. The wind's out of the east-northeast at 8 miles per hour. Throughout the day day today. We will have scattered showers virtually at any point throughout the day, and maybe a rumble of thunder here or there, but we are not expecting any widespread thunderstorm activity today, as temperatures will be climbing up into the low 60s. So it's a nice mild day for us once again. You notice this rain starting to make its way here into central Indiana. Terre Haute now starting to see some light rain, and there's some very heavy rainfall that's making its way into just north of St. Louis area, stretching towards Effingham, and that too is going to make its way into our area. This batch of rain, it's not really that wide, so some of you get into some good rain this morning, and it's tracking right towards downtown Indianapolis, where some of you probably don't see a drop of rainfall. So this is just the pattern we're going to be in. So let me go through TrueCast for you, and I'll take you through today all the way into tomorrow. And this is a time frame where you want to have the umbrella handy if you're going to be out and about, maybe getting that walk to just get a little fresh air out of the house. But it's not an all-day rain. Throughout the morning hours, you see how spotty the rain is, but there will be a few heavier downpours. And then throughout the afternoon, not a whole lot's going on where that front is setting up, just a few spotty showers. And then this evening, again, there's a lot of dry hours. Tonight, throughout the day tomorrow, that's when the rain becomes a little more widespread across the area and also a little heavier. Here we are tomorrow morning at 4, and what we're going to have are just several waves of rain just moving right along a warm front as it lifts to the north. As that front goes to the north, it'll kind of push the rain showers tomorrow, I think, further to the north. But then tomorrow evening, the cold front is going to come through, and it's as this cold front comes through tomorrow evening that I think we have the best potential for maybe a strong to severe storm, but there will be locally heavy rainfall, which could lead to localized flooding, something we'll have to keep an eye on. Cooler and breezy on Sunday. Those showers should end pretty early Sunday morning. Then Monday and Tuesday, Meredith, are going to be dry.
Todd, thank you. We're taking a live look I-465 at Man Road right now. Not too many cars out there. For the past few days, this area of the city has been somewhat crowded on the roadways, so we'll see if that happens again here later this morning. Meghan Markle is getting back to her roots. The Duchess of Sussex is launching a new project with Disney. She narrated the new nature film Elephant. The voice work was done last fall before she and Prince Harry announced they would be stepping back as senior members of the royal family. Markle's spokesperson says the filmmakers approached the former actress about the project because of her passion for elephant preservation. The film will benefit Elephants Without Borders, an organization Markle has previously supported. Elephant debuts on Disney Plus April 3rd.
Mr. Rogers, Dr. Dre, and the Village People may come from different neighborhoods, but they're all coming together in one place. They've all been added to the National Recording Registry's 2020 list of oral treasures. The Library of Congress named this year's additions to the ultimate stay-at-home playlist, a nod to current social distancing measures and the coronavirus pandemic. Red Rogers got on the list for his 1973 album, Who Knew? Mr. Rogers sings 21 favorite songs from Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. Meredith, I'm going to get that for you for Christmas. The Village People earned their top spot with their 1987 single, of course, the best wedding dance song ever, YMCA. And for Dr. Dre, his 1992 album, The Chronic, earned him this distinguished honor.
If you were here, I'd be making you run the stadium steps for being late.
I understand. Well, these are unique circumstances.
Still to come on Good Morning Indiana, a former Colts quarterback crashed an online class at his alma mater. Hear the message that he had for the graduating seniors. And coming up, all new at 5 o'clock, right here on RTV6, high school students across central Indiana are hoping to salvage some time-honored traditions as their senior year is cut short. Our Kelsey Anderson will join us with their stories coming up right here on Good Morning Indiana, only on RTV6. RTV6 is working for you.
A University of Tennessee online class had a surprise guest boost their spirits. As Dr. John Haas was teaching his Communications 499 class, he pointed out that a so-called Mr. Thompson logged on late. But as you can see, it was none other than former NFL quarterback Peyton Manning. The two-time Super Bowl champ graduated from the University of Tennessee in 1997. He offered some words of encouragement and advice to the graduating seniors.
Realize this is a unique time, and probably not the ideal way you guys expected to spend your senior year, but I just encourage you to keep a positive attitude and just know the University of Tennessee is proud of you.
Manning also encouraged the students to use their extra time while campus was closed to accomplish something other than school or help someone out in need. Graduated in 1997, Todd, so he was a little tardy for that class, I'd say.
All right.
More than a decade late.
Yeah, but I did read that was his favorite professor, and he's donated a lot of money back to the communications school there at the University of Tennessee, obviously amongst a lot of other things. So what a special treat for those kids to see him pop up there. All right, scattered showers in the forecast today. A few isolated thunderstorms. A better threat of storms is tomorrow when severe weather enters the picture. Then it's cooler and breezy as we get into the day on Sunday. But enjoy the mild temperatures both today and tomorrow. The time's 4:58. We're back in just a few minutes.